You guys are already at peak performance in the chat. We haven't even started yet. Shout out all the homies. Wi-Fi is also headed to IR. Just be wary. There's a lot of injuries that pop up with this Wi-Fi, so be very careful. You never know. You never know. We see you guys in the chat already. Let's go. If you're here and you're vibing, there's a lot of stuff that went down today, guys. Lots of stuff to come out of today's practices. Obviously, a lot of communication, narratives, anything heading into this week. Good to see everyone. Oh yes, we miss we miss Griffith and Hilliard, but we'll get into that in a second. Let's get everyone in here, give them an opportunity to hop on, and then we will get going. As we always do, we will cover the news and the notes that came from today's practices first, and then we will start to get into questions, comments, all that kind of stuff. We see you out in Buffalo. Let's go. And apparently no doghouse for BA. That will be another thing that we dive into really quickly. Or not quickly, but we will dive into. One thing that I do want to start with, though, as everyone's hopping in here, I just posted to Instagram and Twitter. I know this week, what's up, my guy? I know this week has been an up and down week, even with the win. Even with the win, it's been a little bit up and down. Obviously, due to injuries, we still had some injury news today. Losing some of our starters, all that kind of stuff. But one thing, really quickly, that I do want to talk about before we hop in and get all this stuff going. I did a pretty big rant earlier this week in regard to Raheem Mostert, starting running back for the 49ers, his injuries, and the way that fans responded to his family. Obviously, we know the story. He received death threats. His family received a lot of bad things and energy as a result to Raheem Mostert getting injured and going on. Essentially, he's going to have season-ending surgery and could be the last time that we see Raheem Mostert in a 49ers jersey. But however, I want to bring some positive energy to the situation. Raheem Mostert just tweeted not too long ago that he just logged on to social media for the first time in a couple days, and basically both him and Devin Mostert, his wife, are just absolutely floored by the positive support that has been counteracted as a result of the awareness brought to our fan base based on the negativity. So I was very critical of our fan base earlier this week. I was very serious about this subject, but both Raheem and his wife have posted to both of their social medias talking about the extreme outpouring of support that has headed their way this week as a result of, Devin putting out her message talking about how she was bombarded with terrible messages after we found out that Raheem went down. What 49ers fans have done as a response to that is they have found their these causes that are both near and dear to Raheem and his wife's heart, and people are donating. People are donating money like with Raheem Mostert's name in place. So just want to, again, we talked about the negative about the situation. I do want to put a spotlight on the positive. We flipped this thing. It was, we know this fan base has we're dealing with injuries. Again, we lost another player today in Dre Greenlaw for a substantial amount of time. But the problem is when that has occurred in the past, and we're so bitter to injuries dating back to the Trent Harbaugh era, Balky era, Harbaugh era. based on all that situation. It's really, really refreshing to see the entire narrative flip and the outpouring of support that people have shown Raheem, his family. And this is representative of the 49ers faithful and fan base. So if any one of you sent any good vibes, good energy their way, I just want to take a second to thank you and really, really get this stuff going in the right direction because it was important for our fan base. So I again just wanted to take a second to shower positivity onto the situation that originally brought up a lot of negative situations. So shout out the faithful. The faith in humanity has been restored. Coach, faith in humanity restored today. I like it. Faith in injuries regarding the San Francisco 49ers, maybe a different question. So that will be our transition into some of the news and the notes that came out from today. Obviously, the 49ers are practicing back east at the Greenbrier. Some practice reports and notes to come out today. Positives. Some positives. There are some negatives. We'll start with the positives first. So with the positives, we saw a video today of Emmanuel Moseley running. Good news. Fantastic news. We want to see that. Now, obviously, we want to see how that translates into next week. Or I'm sorry, not next week, tomorrow. If Emmanuel Moseley can go from running on the sideline to limited participant in practice regarding like if he's taking reps in individual drills, it's a good sign in the right direction. We're one step headed in the right direction. We don't know for a fact, though, if he will be available or not. Again, tomorrow is a huge practice for Emmanuel Moseley, and we're going to find out who's going to be starting in his place if he can't go against the Philadelphia Eagles. The other bit optimism that came out of today regarding injury was surrounding Javon Kinlaw. Now it's up and down with Javon Kinlaw because we talked about this yesterday. This knee situation, it sounds like it's going to be reoccurring and something that we're going to have to monitor and just be really careful of all year. So with that being said, he was taking part in individual drills. We saw him taking some pass rush, like blocking snaps and things like that. But at this time, it's still a little bit TBD to see if he will be available. Kind of based on what I've seen from Javon Kinlaw, just from the couple reps, he's still moving a little gingerly. So maybe he may be trending towards not being available this week. Again, can't rush him. Can't rush him at this point. That knee is going to be something that is, like I said, lingering. So we got to be very careful with how we address that situation, how we bring him along, and if we decide Kinlaw's ready to go or not. Because I honestly don't believe, at least right now in this time, a 75% healthy Javon Kinlaw helps us a ton. I want Kinlaw to be as close to healthy as possible before we bring him back. So that is the goal. But we'll see. So those are the two things of optimism. We don't know. They're trending in the right direction. They're trending in the right direction. However, we just got to see what happens tomorrow. Look at I love when the regulars drop in the chat and everyone's saying what's up to each other. That's how you know we got a community going right now. Let's go. Look at these guys. They're all having a conversation. They're checking in. What's up, fam? Let's go. Sourdough squad deep. We deep out here. So let's get into the other news. Obviously, the gut play came from hearing Dre Greenlaw will miss anywhere from, I've seen it from 4 to 6, 6 to 8. So I'm going to go ahead and say 4 to 8 8 weeks. Dre Greenlaw is probably going to be out 4 to 8 weeks. Oh, we got the sourdough emojis. Let's go. We're calling those sourdough rolls. Let's go. Let's go. We see you. We see you. Sourdough squad. Sourdough squad. Let's go. So again, the crappy news from today, Dre Greenlaw. Again, you guys on YouTube, you guys see my polls. You guys seen my polls. I put out I let you guys vote on who the player of the game is. And that will be a thing that we do each week. You guys voted Dre Greenlaw. You guys voted Dre Greenlaw as the defensive player of the week against the Lions. And today we found out. Oh, we see you. We always got respect for people holding it down in 12 country. So we see you. Hit him with the baguette. Let's go. Let's go. Appreciate all the fam as always. All the love is appreciated. Because we're gonna need it. We're gonna need it because our boy, like we were talking about, Dre Greenlaw, could be a groin. It's groin or core muscle injury. Those two words have been floating around in regards to Dre Greenlaw. So it's tough. The 49ers have already lost a bunch of main starters. They've already lost a bunch of main starters, and we're getting tested, and we're getting tested early. Keith says, I think Sourdough Brad should buy me one of those hats if we win by 7s or more from Philly. Maybe Keith, maybe. So the biggest thing with Dre Greenlaw, he was definitely trending in the right direction. Like all the work he put in the offseason, you were seeing it. We saw it against the Lions. So it's really tough for him. Someone in one of my comments on Instagram said he was headed towards a Pro Bowl year. Yeah, we kind of knew Dre Greenlaw was going to be taking those steps forward, and Dre Greenlaw had the path for opportunity because it's Fred and Dre in base downs. Depending on if it's nickel or they're running like a 4-3 over or under, that determines if it's going to be Aziz in or nickel cornerback in K1. So the two constants from the linebacker position have been Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw. So, of course, it hurts losing Greenlaw for a good chunk of the year. The positive, and hopefully it stays this way, because we kind of thought that Raheem Mostert was going to be coming back this year. Found out he's having season-ending surgery. The hope is the same for Dre Greenlaw, that we get Dre Greenlaw back. And hopefully that happens soon. But it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world because of this reason right here. Aziz Al-Shaair, ladies and gentlemen, is for real. Aziz had a fantastic day. I might even pull some up. Let's see if I can pull some up, and we can let's watch the tape. Me talking, but it doesn't justice. Let's watch some of the tape. Let me see if I can share the screen here. Share screen. Boink. Bring it up. There we go. Let's watch some Aziz real quick. Let's watch some Aziz Al-Shaair. Let's see. We had a pass breakup at 105. Let's get to it. Let's see the pass breakup. So I just wanted to bring this up because, again, I know it hurts losing Dre Greenlaw. But when you got Aziz Al-Shaair, no, that's Flanagan Fowles. That's Aziz right here. So this is one of my favorite plays of the day. You get a real good sense of Aziz Al-Shaair, his ability to read and react. I think one of the things that Aziz Al-Shaair showed against the Lions was the ability to just read and react and how he closes down the space. Again, look at where he is right here. It's probably a solid 10-yard difference between DeAndre Swift, the running back, and Aziz Al-Shaair. But you can see once he reads, like you're seeing right now, right once the windup begins and Jared Goff, watch the windup. All right, boom. Look, you can see Aziz is already off to the races. The awareness, the ability to get there when the ball arrives, to be able to allow the breakup. These are the things that like make Aziz Al-Shaair potentially, he could be headed now for, I'm not going to call it yet. I don't think Aziz is ready for the all-pro year. But we'll see. We will see. He's going to have a big year. Coach says Aziz gets bumped inside 100%. Flanagan and Marcel next up. I agree. I think they're going to bring Flanagan Fowles next up. But just again, here's an example of the closing speed that Aziz Al-Shaair brings. Just watch him close in on this ball, man. Watch him close in on the pass or on the running back, and he just drops him. Aziz is a savage, man. Aziz is a savage. Let me see. There's a couple more plays that I can pull up. We got another PBU on a rub route. So I really like this one because you see the awareness. You see the awareness. They tried to run essentially like a pick route at him. Let me see where we're at. So it's the next play. So again, this is just an example of Aziz Al-Shaair. What we're going to see right now is you're going to see him out covering Hawkinson in the slot. So you have him in coverage right here. It's essentially looks like he's manned up on Hawkinson, right? So what Detroit is going to try and do here is they're going to try and take this wide receiver and basically run him straight at Aziz. It's, rub route, a pick route, whatever you want to call it. This wide receiver is trying to obstruct Aziz Al-Shaair. He's trying to make it real messy to give TJ Hawkinson, who's going to be considered as one of the best tight ends in the NFL. If he's not already, he's going to be at the end of this year, especially with the production he's going to put up with Goff. But again, watch Aziz, watch him not even be phased by the wide receiver and the mess, and see him reset himself up for success and cause the play to break free. I mean, that's beautiful. Beautiful. That's situational awareness. It's understanding. Again, here he is right here. It's understanding what they're trying to throw at you and just being able to calmly move past it. Again, you're not going to really get a good idea right here, but just the angle that he adjusted to come up and smack Hawkinson, the timing. Again, we're seeing timing, we're seeing burst, we're seeing speed, we're seeing awareness, all of it. So with Aziz, really, really damn excited for this guy. Let me see if we can pull up one more Aziz to, again, just illustrate why we're in good hands. Like, although it's jarring, right? It's a bit jarring to lose Dre Greenlaw. But again, what we're watching so far is 3 snaps. We've watched 3 snaps of pass coverage. These are coverage snaps. We know good on game. We know he's sideline to sideline extremely quick, but these are coverage plays. And you're seeing his ability to read and react in coverage. Again, Aziz Al-Shaair is right here. Watch him read the quarterback eyes and leads him to his space. He's playing zone. You're not coming in there on Aziz Al-Shaair. Look at him. His closing speed, I'm telling you, the read and react that Aziz has is fantastic. Again, he ain't letting you catch that ball, man. He ain't letting you catch that ball. So, again, see this alignment right here. You got Aziz and Fred next to each other. This is it. This is what we're going to be looking at for the rest of the season. Coach brought it up earlier. Where did it go? Coach brought it up earlier. This is exactly how we're running it. Aziz gets bumped to the inside. This is what coach is speaking to. Aziz now plays inside with Fred. And then anyone else who comes in to play weak side linebacker, it's either going to be Flanagan Fowles or Marcel Harris. But again, let's just take a look at our boy Aziz causing havoc. You see the guy flash into a zone, poor pass, but he makes sure that he doesn't catch it. So super, super excited with Aziz. Again, big loss with Dre, but I don't think it's as big of a drop off because we just got lucky. We just got lucky that we have two really damn good linebackers. So just wanted to talk about that very quickly. So I do see some of you guys talking about Griffith. Yeah, we would love to have Griffith right now. Griffith again was one of my favorite guys out of training camp. I thought he had a chance to make the roster over Marcel Harris, but now the key depth becomes Marcel Harris. Key depth becomes Aziz Al-Shaair and Flanagan Fowles. So although the Greenlaw, like I said, but exactly like Niner Sickness says, it hurts losing Greenlaw. It absolutely hurts losing Greenlaw, but we have Aziz, and as long, knock on wood, that Aziz can stay healthy, we're going to be in good shape. We're going to be in good shape. So I'm really excited for Aziz. I think Aziz can put up big time plays and stats this year. 100%. 100%. Chasing Gold says, calling it now. We'll sign a linebacker during this live. Yeah, you're probably right. Probably right. We're probably going to Action Wire news is probably going to drop soon, and we're probably going to. We did sign a linebacker yesterday on the live, so Chasing Gold is not too far off. Tell him, James. Shout out to Sourdough Squad, always trying to get these streams right. We appreciate the fam as always. Let's see. What are some of the other things that we want to? I know what we can talk about. We can talk about Brandon Aiyuk. Let's talk about Brandon Aiyuk a little bit. Let me pull up some of the quotes that came out of practice today. I feel better. I feel better about the whole situation. Obviously, you guys know I'm tinfoil hat guy, right? So I'm looking at every possible outcome, every possible situation. No stone stays unturned with me. But based on everything that we've heard out of training camp today, we heard from Mike McDaniels, offensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. He definitely backed Brandon Aiyuk. So the positive that's coming out from this is that his guys, these guys on the team, they're backing Brandon Aiyuk. They're acknowledging that yes, Brandon Aiyuk struggled a little bit. He might have been a little behind, but he is responding well. And so we heard from two people. We heard from two people today. We heard from wide receiver Trent Sherfield, the guy who's actually splitting reps with Brandon Aiyuk. And we also heard, like I said, from the offensive coordinator, Mike McDaniels. Both guys came out today to say that Brandon Aiyuk has responded, meaning message was received and he has responded this week. So I'm excited. Again, it's if we put our fantasy hats on, it's still really hard to project the usage. But if we want to believe Trent Sherfield, if we want to believe the offensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers, all indications kind of point to maybe a bounce back game from Aiyuk. So I think that's one of the key things that we're going to be looking on. I would love to see him get some opportunity. Give him some opportunity and let's see how he responds. Again, keyword today, respond. How do you respond to adversity? So that's just one of the big things that I'm going to be looking for against the Eagles in regards to Brandon Aiyuk. We all understand there's zero issue regarding talent. He is still just as talented as CeeDee Lamb. He's still just as talented as Justin Jefferson. He is still talented. The talent doesn't go away. What we're dealing with is some off-field stuff. Uh, Again, everything we keep hearing points towards maturity, things like that. But if he's responding well, that's all we want to hear. That's all we want to hear. Mike McDaniels even went out of his way to quote say he's not in the doghouse. Like he went out of his way to say that again, Aiyuk isn't in the doghouse. Again, excuse me. Switching gears to fantasy, someone in this league or in one of your leagues drafted Brandon Aiyuk high with very high expectations. Perceptions are made and broken in week 1. So now is your opportunity to go buy Brandon Aiyuk for dumb cheap. Go try and find that owner who has Brandon Aiyuk, who is pissing in their pants right now because Brandon Aiyuk threw up a goose egg last week. Go find that owner, maybe juice him up. You guys know where to find the quotes. I can help you. I can send you the quotes. Don't use today's quotes. Use yesterday's quotes. Send them yesterday's quotes and be like, man, listen, I don't know. Trent sure feels really good. I don't know if Aiyuk's going to be that good. Get him for cheap. Go. Do it now. That's my advice to you. If you have Brandon Aiyuk, I'm right. So right now, as a fantasy perspective, I'm weighing the option if I keep Brandon Aiyuk in. I really am. It would make sense to bench him just to kind of get a better idea of what the usage is next week. But I'm kind of feeling like leaving him in, and because I want to receive those rewards. And if he balls out against the Eagles, I want to feel like a smart person and have him in my lineup. I don't want Aiyuk going off on my bench. I absolutely do not want that to happen. So again, 49ers offensive coordinator Mike McDaniels said today, quote, Brandon Aiyuk has done a fantastic job this week to responding to this week's adversity. Again, they see it all. They hear it all. Oh, I think with this, like Jacoby Myers might be trending towards wide receiver 1 again with Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne on the Patriots. But I think in this regard, in the vein that we're talking about, I'm probably riding with Aiyuk because I want to be on that upswing. I want to make sure that Aiyuk thrives on my bench. Brad, tired of this training staff. When Kyle's going to realize that. So again, this isn't a training staff issue. We've already went through this. We went through this, I believe it was the 2018 year, after the 2018 year going into 2019. So if you guys remember, Kyle Shanahan gutted the entire training staff, the entire strength and conditioning staff, the entire support staff when it comes to injuries. They've already done this. They already cleaned the house. They already wiped through all of these people. And again, they also felt at the same time that it wasn't their fault, but they knew they had to make a change. One of the crazy things about that is I was standing in the 49ers locker room. I knew one of the guys that worked there. He was giving me a tour of everything. So I was standing in the 49ers locker room. We're chopping it up. You know, I'm like enjoying myself because, of course, I'm in the locker room. There's Kittle's locker. There's Jimmy's locker. There's all these guys' lockers. There's Staley's locker. Like, I was hyped. And we're sitting there chopping it up. And here comes a guy with all his bag. Like, he's got hella bags on him. And he comes up to the dude I was with, and he was like, man, they just fired me. And I kind of like was like, oh, snap. I kind of like took a step back, just kind of let them chop it up because it was basically this strength coach saying goodbye to this other guy. And that was one of the first times, again, like this concept with people calling for like the training staff to be fired. I saw that happen in real life, and it gave me a completely different perspective on saying fire the training staff because like again, seeing it in real life, I saw the training staff dude get like literally after he got fired, walking out the door with all his stuff, saying bye to his guy. I was like, damn, that sucks, man. Because at the end of the day, it's really not the training staff. Like if as long as they're doing everything they should be doing, which they are, it's not a big deal. Um, but so that's why I don't think it's the training staff. Every time the 49ers have talked about this training staff, I've talked to players personally about the training staff. They have nothing but good things to say. They have nothing but good things to say. Um, so it is what it is. Um, is there a reason? Wait, that's not what I want. He deserved to be fired. Who deserves to be fired because people get hurt in football? I'll never understand that. Again, Matt Breida gets rolled up in a pile. How is that the trainer's fault? Like, not something that I totally agree with. Again, as someone who's played football, it's not. I had a nagging injury for my entire career, and I go down. It is what it is. It's football, man. It's football. Is there a reason K1 can't play outside? I think he can play outside. Um, but I think at this point in his career, you just want to keep him on the inside. They used him a couple times off the edge to blitz. I think he's really good in that regard. He had a really good run stopping play. With coming off the edge as well. I just think K1 lives. Yeah, I think he's better in the box. I think he's better. He's a gritty guy. He's tough, although he's small. I would rather keep him in the box at this point. So moving forward with some of the other quotes to come out from Mike McDaniels today, again, the offensive coordinator for the 49ers. One of the things that I thought was interesting was what he said about Jimmy Garoppolo. I think if you really pay attention to breaking down the X's and O's regarding the 49ers the last couple of years, you have been able to understand that Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't been fantastic at seeing the field, at hitting his reads and timing when he should. All of those things. Like Jimmy has been very up and down. Even on plays in the past that I've defended, and I had to go back and look to realize that that his sorry, I got sidetracked by a comment. It said read above. Now I have to read it because I got completely sidetracked. But when he gutted the staff, they hired all University of Minnesota staff. The college his dad coached in, the town Kyle was raised in, he hired his friends. They were a downgrade. That's why it is the staff. I mean, that's pure speculation at this point. So we'll see. It is what it is. But back to the Jimmy Garoppolo thing. If you had paid attention, you would know that Jimmy Garoppolo did have a hard time reading the field. He did have a hard time seeing the field, hitting his right read, coming off his primary too fast, not being able to find his second and third reads. You could see that on tape. Like if you really went back and you dove into the tape, you could see he wasn't hitting his primaries, especially when I've gone back with some of my guys. Who have the install and they know what is actual the progression of the play. You could see Jimmy had missed quite a few throws and just was having a hard time seeing the field. But what OC Mike McDaniels said today was this game was by far the best Jimmy Garoppolo has had in regards to his presence in the pocket and seeing the field against the Lions. And even Jimmy Garoppolo talked about it He talked about it being his 4th year, how the game is finally slowing down, and now he has the ability to really understand the offense and all those types of things. So that is a really cool thing to hear from recognized by Mike McDaniels um, with Jimmy Garoppolo. So that's a good progression with Jimmy Garoppolo. If he continues to see the field and he continues to make the right reads with right timing, that's going to continue to set the 49ers up for a lot of success. So we like that. What else? McDaniel said he wasn't surprised at all by Elijah Mitchell's performance. Said, which is essentially the same thing that I had said. Not trying to put us together or anything, but because what he had referenced was scouting his tape in college. I referenced yesterday scouting him at the Senior Bowl. So we saw the same exact things. I saw the same thing at the Senior Bowl that he saw on tape, and you saw it translate to the Lions game. It makes a lot of sense. Like, if you knew who Elijah Mitchell was, you weren't necessarily surprised by that performance. Let's talk a little bit Trey Sermon, though. Now that we're on the running back, let's talk a little bit about Trey Sermon. Trey, where you at? Trey, where you at? Now, this is one of my favorite things that Mike McDaniels talked about today was Trey Sermon. And he felt like the way he said it, too, there's a lot of oomph behind how he said it. But essentially what Mike McDaniels talked about, again, was how Trey Sermon responded to not being active. Again, Trey Sermon was the 3rd round pick. Trey Sermon was the guy that the 49ers traded up to get in the NFL draft, yet it was Elijah Mitchell who was active, and it was Elijah Mitchell who balled the hell out. It was Elijah Mitchell who is now 3rd in the NFL in total rushing yards. It was Elijah Mitchell, not Trey Sermon. And if you're a competitor, that ain't gonna fly with you, man. If you're a competitor, and especially when you think you're good and you think you're capable, and they didn't even give you a chance, and then the guy behind you balls the hell out, and now everyone's talking about Elijah. Everyone's talking about, Trey Sermon a bust, da 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 da. So basically, what Mike McDaniel said today is that he was extremely impressed by Trey Sermon's response in practice this week, essentially saying you could tell how motivated he was in practice. And again, it wasn't McDaniels went on to say it wasn't like a verbal, like, I'm motivated and I'm here and I'm going to work. He said, no, he showed it. Like, he showed it with his violence. He showed it with his running style. He was saying he's running more angry today. And yesterday he was, so essentially what he said is Trey Sermon responded in a positive way, saying that he doesn't want to be inactive ever again, essentially. And he's making that presence felt in practice this week. And then Mike McDaniels went on to say Sermon will get touches and opportunities in this week's game against Philly. Now, again, putting our fantasy hats on, trying to project usage, snap percentage, we don't necessarily know. We're still kind of moving forward as Elijah Mitchell earned the role to begin with, and he's going to earn first crack at it again against Philly. But that doesn't mean Trey Sermon gets touches. We're going to definitely be watching Sermon, see how he's used. Now I would love to see Sermon used short yardage, 3rd downs as a pass blocker. I want to see how he does in pass blocking. Also as a receiver out of the backfield, one of the things that he excelled at in training camp. So want to see that translate to the game. But as of right now, we're still looking at Elijah Mitchell to get first crack at it. But based on the tone and emphasis that Mike McDaniel said today, is Trey Sermon's hungry, he's pissed, and they're going to give him opportunity. So this could very well be a breakout Trey Sermon game. So again, this is where we get into the realm of not knowing Shanahan and their running back rotation. Again, it's the hardest thing to project, but we'll try our best. Let's see. George Kittle talked today. He also was talking about Philadelphia's defense. Again, there's already a lot of emphasis being put on by 49ers players, 49ers coaches on the trenches. This was the first thing that I had indicated about my main point of emphasis between the Philly game is our O line versus their D line and their D line versus our O line. This is going to be a matchup in the trenches. Like this game is going to be won in the trenches. I swear to you, it will. And their offensive line is freaking good, man. Like their offensive, like if again, I'm done. I did the tape study. I did all the tape study on Lions versus 49ers. We have to give credit to that Lions team, man. That Lions offensive line was really good. And that was without their starting left tackle in Taylor Decker. That offensive line was good. Like, coach, I remember we talked about this. I went back, I watched all the Sewell. Sewell balled, man. Sewell did a really good job, dude. He did a really good job. He really only lost like maybe a handful of snaps, like maybe. Other than that, he was washing out our interior defensive linemen. He was blocking Bosa really well. That offensive line is really good, and they're only going to get better. So that is something to take into mind when trying to view that matchup against the Lions. The Lions are a lot better than we gave them credit for. That offense is a lot better than we gave them credit for. I wrote down in my notes, like I don't know if you can see it. I logged all kinds of plays from that game. And there were multiple times when I wanted to log the Lions play. Like, because I'm like, oh man, what a great play design. What a great play design and great execution. The Lions did good. And I think it was a great first test. I think it was a great first test as we head towards Philadelphia Eagles, who again have a great offensive line. They have great talent at the bookend tackles. They have great center and they have great guard play. So I think the biggest thing as we head towards this game is that Lions game was actually a good test. And I think a lot of fans viewed it in the sense of, wow, our D-line must not be that good, like as we thought they were. No, I think the real point is the Lions is offensive line is a lot better than we really thought they were. That offense as a whole is a lot better than I thought they were. And I thought the Lions offense was going to be good going into this year. I had no idea that they were going to look like this. So I actually anticipate the Lions could do something this year, especially with the Green Bay Packers not playing well, the Chicago Bears being the Chicago Bears, and the Vikings being the Vikings. Don't sleep on the Lions, fam. Don't sleep on the Lions because that their defense sucks. Their defense sucks, but their offense is good. Like, so keep that in mind when thinking about our defensive performance against them because they just did a phenomenal job. They really did. Like, all the respect in the world to that Lions offense and what they've been able to do in a short time. Pretty special. Let me see if I can even let me see. I could pull one up. Yeah, let me pull one up just to show you guys. I don't want to just say it. Let's show what we're talking about. So I just want to show one play. I wrote it down. I told you that I was logging our plays, not the Lions plays, but I was like, oh, this is just too good. This is just too good. So let me see. Let me get it queued up and then we'll show. Let's get it queued up. And let's see. Again, coach, this is what we were talking about. Coach was like, nah, Sewell ain't good. I don't know if he did anything particular on this play, but this offensive line looked really solid, man. Let's lock it up. All right. So what we're gonna look at right here. So this is what my notes say. My notes say Lions dope run, great open field by tackle. or open field tackle by Ward. So let's see what we have on this play. So again, this is a Lions focused run. And I just want to show you guys the scheme and the way they blocked it up to, again, not put a ton of emphasis on our D line not playing well, but just again to give credit to the Detroit Lions for really designing it well, blocking it up. So as you can see, look at all the offensive linemen. Look at all the offensive linemen's right foot. You guys are going to get a little education on offensive line today. So watch the right foot of the offensive line. Ready, set, hike, boom. Look at all the offensive line. All have taken their zone right step. So if you want to know zone right, if you want to know what that means for the offensive line, this is it. This is literally it. It's your zone right footwork. You take your footwork puts you on your path for the zone. Hey, Don, perfect timing, dude. I'm actually breaking down a play in to show how good Detroit is in regards to play design and how they blocked it up. So great timing, Don Burr. This is actually a pro Detroit take. But again, so what we're doing is we're looking at how they're executing zone right. At least it appears that way up front. Watch their footwork, zone right footwork. They take it and they get on their track. So you see, they all take this. See how they're all kind of like at this angle a bit. You got a double to backer coming on this side. You got a double to backer here. You got this guy straight up on the defensive end. So this is technically a zone right for the offensive line. Zone right for the offensive line. But, and you can see, watch the linebackers. Watch the flow of the linebackers over the top and them reading the offensive line. Look at that. Those first two steps caused Dre and Fred to take one step out of position. That's it. That's enough. That's all it takes. One step out of position. You see him doing that little dance. Now, see, Jaquiski Tart reads it right away. He reads it right away because his guy is Hawkinson. Now, look at Hawkinson. Oh, that isn't a zone right, guys. That's actually a counter to the left. And just look at, I just love it. Like I love everything about it. And I thought this is a perfect example of just how they block it up. Again, it doesn't go for big yardage, but I just like the way they blocked it up. I like the play design. I like everything about it. And they gashed us. They gashed us on similar plays, just like this, where it looked to the right. They were doing a lot of stuff that we do. So I liked it, man. I liked it. Again, look at Sewell, dude. Coach was talking about Sewell yesterday. Look at Sewell, the way he collapses down the right side. So this is what we were having trouble with. We were having trouble we are having trouble playing gap integrity. We were getting washed down quite a bit. So you can see we're getting washed, and it really creates a lot of issues. But I really like the way the play design happened. And like I said, there's actually even better examples than that. But I thought I thought they did a really good job. I thought they did a really good job of designing it and executing it on offense. So, anyways, let me get this out of the way and get back up. So, continuing forward, we're gonna have a lot of stuff happening in the trenches against Philadelphia Eagles. So it's going to be a big point of emphasis this week and throughout the game. George Kittle talked about the double pancake block. Let's pull up the double pancake. Why not? If we're pulling up tape, let's pull up the double pancake. Why not? Does that sound like a plan? Should we do that? Let's do it. I don't care. Let's pull up the double pancake. Where's my double pancake block from George Kittle? And it is also just also a great play in regards to it's a microcosm of how well the 49ers offensive line and tight ends really blocked it up. Where's the double pancake? Come on. It's not that one, is it? Masterclass. Let's see. Got to find it first. All right. Well, while I'm looking for that, I have in my notes masterclass blocking by Kittle. Let's see what that is. All right. So in my notes, I have masterclass blocking by Kittle. Let's take a look. Kittle's over here. Again, it's not fully, I don't know if this is it or not. Well, we'll see. Let's see. So we got Kittle. He's got 53 on him. Oh, I remember this play. Oh, this play is a good play. So the reason why I put this down is, let me back it up a second. Kittle, like this type of, is my Wi-Fi tripping again? Apologies. It'll get figured out sooner or later. But if you guys can see, once I get this thing pulled up, is I want you guys to focus on Kittle and we're going to talk about how difficult it is to block this up. So let me get it pulled up here. Shout out my Wi-Fi. Sucks. Here we go. All right, you guys see, we got Georgie boy. Watch Georgie. So I believe this is going to be an outside zone. Let's take a look really quick at the initial footwork and what everyone is doing. Running it slow. All right. So what I really like about this is, look at what Kittle's doing, man. All Kittle is doing right here is holding up his guy to allow JaMycal Hasty to take over. And then what George Kittle has to do is disengage and go get his hat on a DB. Like, this stuff is hard. Like this, like blocking two people like this and then getting out, or one person like this and then getting out in space. Watch it. So we're going slow-mo. There's George. Lets JaMycal take over. Find the DB, get your hat on the right side. Look at that hole for Deebo Samuel. Again, this is what makes Kittle so freaking amazing, dude. This is why Kittle's the best tight end in the NFL. This is not easy, man. I'm not sure I've ever personally seen this concept even taught since I was playing. Like, look at Kittle. I'll run at full speed. He hits 53, and the main reason he's hitting 53 is because he wants JaMycal Hasty to take over the block so then he can go out into space. Again, just watch the timing and watch how he sets it up. And watch Deebo come right off his ass. Look at that, dude. So pretty. It's so pretty. Watch it again. There's Kittle. Look, head outside shoulder. Textbook. You know why? Because he's got to pass it off to JaMycal Hasty. Then JaMycal Hasty's got to get his head on the right side. Oh, look at that. Good job, JaMycal. You get your head on the right side. You create the leverage. You completely wall off number 53. Look at Kittle, man. So inspirational. So damn inspirational. Look at Kittle. Turns into a lead blocker. Again, this block is not easy. This is not freaking easy block, dude. To get out there, let's go, Kittle. Again, probably not his favorite block either, but that's not an easy block, man. That is not an easy block. Absolutely love it. Let's see. Why can't I find the damn double pancake? I know I wrote it down. Oh, there it is. All right. So let's watch the best running play of the day. Let's watch the best running. Dude, Trent pancake again. You'll see Trent on this play. Trent was everywhere. Trent is everywhere. All right, watch. So let's start. Let's go left to right. Let's go left to right. We'll focus on Trent Williams first. Watch Trent first. Trent Williams, for those paying attention at home, right here. You see him? We see him. Watch the. So this technique, this is new to me. This is new technique to me, dude. And Trent was doing this all day. All freaking day. Trent is using defensive linemen's leverage against them. So look, it's almost like he's doing D lineman stuff, dude. Look at him swat the hand. Do you see the hand? He's getting ready to swat right now. He swats the hand down. So he swats the defender's hand down, getting the defender leaning forward. And then you're seeing him reach over the top of the defender and then bring him down to the ground. Like, do you see that? How easy that was for him? He did this multiple times in this game, and it's honestly something that I really haven't seen as like a technique that's taught. Like, I really only see this from him. Again, watch Trent. It's like he's a D lineman playing offensive line. He's attacking the defensive lineman's hand, grabs him over the top, and uses the momentum against him to get him on the ground. Freaking beautiful. Let's move one spot over to the right. Look at Lincoln. Look at Lincoln get on his track. Number 75 right here. Look at Lincoln get on his track to linebacker. Boom. I'll take it. If the linebacker wants to go under, go for it. Go under any day of the week. You can go under me all you want, because by that time, as you can see, there's no chance in hell that he's going to get there. So that's the angle that they want him to take. So let's take a look now at arguably the hardest block on this play. I would say arguably the hardest block on this play is between Alex Mack, because he's alone in this situation. He's got a defender head up on him, and he's got to make sure there's no penetration. There's no penetration, or this defensive tackle can cross it. So you see, boom, gets his head in the right spot, and then he's going to try and work his hips around. Keep working the hips. Doesn't matter, because Mike McGlinchey and Brunskill do their job. Mike McGlinchey and Brunskill do their job. So watch Mike McGlinchey and Brunskill right next to him. It's going to be a nice double to backer, but it turns out to be just a tall stack of pancakes. And then what we're really here for, the reason why we're really here is to watch Kittle. This is why we're here. Watch Kittle, man. Or no, that's Warner here, Kittle's here. Warner here, Kittle here. So let's watch. Zone right steps. So what you love is this is a double. This is a tandem block between the tight ends. This is tandem. So what Warner's going to do, he's going to strike so that Kittle can take over this block, so Warner can get on to the next level. So you can see Warner try to essentially throw a hat, and then he's gone because Kittle needs to take over the block. But then watch Kittle. Kittle takes out two mother effers in one. It's so beautiful. It is just, I don't care that he straight up tackled him. Just like Kittle said today, this is a WWE move. He straight up suplex and tackled that defender into another guy. I was so hyped. I don't know if I've ever been so hyped for a play live, like from a blocking standpoint, than this play right here. I saw the whole thing. At first, I saw the pancake by McGlinchey, but then once I saw Kittle just demolish these dudes, I was freaking out. When have you ever seen this, dude? Like, when have you ever seen? Look, and I love it. Look, you can see Kittle's hand. He wrapped the race. He brings his arm down, pulls the leg. This is a tackle, but in those trenches, you can't see that. You can't see that. Oh my gosh. And just purely demolished him. This play is beautiful. Let's watch it from the other angle. Let's watch it from the other angle and enjoy this masterpiece of blocking. Again, I like this play because I feel like it exemplifies how well this offensive line did as a whole for the entirety of the game. The entire game they played like this. They stumbled a little bit at the end once the momentum was a little weird, but for the most part, they played some solid freaking football. Let's watch it through. Look at them all moving together. Look at that hole. Look at the hole. Look at bodies on the ground. Look at hats on defenders. Beautiful blocking by Charlie Warner again because he did have to double to get outside. Absolutely fantastic, dude. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, hell yeah. I hope that the 49ers pulled this run, Cap, and they showed it a million times. I hope they showed this run. They put it on the big screen in front of the whole team and being like, this is what heart is. This is what being a football player is. This not catching it and the yak. Like that's cool and all, but this is football. Like this is where real ones grind. This is where all the fun happens. These guys, like you got McGlinchey and Brunskill demolishing the guy that they're on. You got look at Trent got his guy on the ground. Look at Lankin at the second level, exactly where he needs to be. You got wide receivers blocking, you got tight ends blocking, and then again, the crown jewel of this entire play is George Kittle just demolishing this dude. Look at that. Look at 8. Jamie Collins is like, oh no! Ah! And then Brunskill's like, wait, who do I block? My guy's flat on his back because Kittle took his ass out. Oh my goodness. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. Oh, I could watch this all day. Kittle just lifting that dude into number 8, Jamie Collins. And then it's up to Elijah Mitchell. And then there's that 4.3 speed, the strength, the ability to run through tackles. This game was a lot of fun. Good time, man. It was a good time. So that again was that was the play that George said this was basically a WWE play. I'll let it run full speed. But it really was a great play. Really was a great play. And like I said, I feel like it exemplifies the offensive line and how well they played together and just demolishing. So what we're going to be keying on next week, right, is we're going to be keying on, well, what happened against a very stout defensive tackle group. All right. Let me stop this really quick. All right. We're at an hour, so before we go insanely long per usual, I'm trying to be better about keeping these to a little bit more manageable times because we've been running like 2-hour lives. I'll turn it over to you guys. I haven't really been paying a whole lot of attention to the chat because I've been geeking out watching the tape. So I'll kind of turn it over to you guys. What do you want to talk about? I'll let you ask a couple questions and we'll get the conversation going from you guys. I also have, like, if you guys want to see a player, I have a bunch of plays logged. I might not have every player logged, but if you potentially want to see something, I might have it. So that is also an option. Shout out you guys as always, showing love. Really, really appreciate it. A lot of fun. Are there any linebackers available? I've heard some conversations about bringing good old what's his name? Former first round pick from us, Reuben Foster. I've heard he's on a practice squad right now. I've heard like, well, what did we bring him over? I want Jonas Griffith right now. I wish Jonas Griffith was still here. I'm still upset about that. Yes, we talked about Dre Greenlaw. Absolutely, we do. We talked about this as well. That's going to be Aziz Al-Shaair. Aziz Al-Shaair will definitely be taking over. Oh, you want to see an Ambry? I got one Ambry. I don't think I logged it specifically. I posted it on Twitter. Let me see if I can pull up my Ambry rep so you guys can see. And I felt like it was. Shout out Don. He's not even a Niner fan, but he is welcome here at any time. You can see it. Don's got the respect from this community. Shout out Don. We appreciate your contributions as always. Big Don fans over here. Big Don fans over here. So let me pull up the Ambry. Someone said they want to see Ambry. Where was the Ambry comment? Let's see Ambry. Okay. I only got one clip of Ambry. So I'll pull up the Ambry clip. We'll watch it together. But I feel like it's an extremely representative clip of what Ambry Thomas is right now. I think this clip is 100% representative of what kind of Ambry Thomas is right now. So let's take a look. Let me get my screen shared. Let me get it shared. So again, like I said, I only got it on Twitter right now. Let me get it full screened up. But and it's not very good quality. So I feel like Ambry Thomas. Again, we saw this exact Ambry Thomas in training camp. We saw this exact Ambry Thomas in preseason. We're seeing it in game. Ambry Thomas so far this offseason has been about a step behind. He finds himself in okay position, but what we keep seeing out of Ambry Thomas is he's about a step late or he's a step out of position. You can honestly, in my opinion, I really feel like make that impact come from not playing in 2020. Not playing in 2020. Again, one of my biggest takeaways from training camp is training camp is not a place to develop a young player who needs time to develop. There's just not enough reps. There's not enough time. It's really hard. So again, this dude's already at a disadvantage. But the reason why I pulled this play was because you can see the ability Ambry has. Ambry has the ability to play in phase. He has the ability to be in position to make a play. The problem that we keep seeing over and over again with Ambry is he's just that one step too late. He's not getting his head turned around at the right time. He's just not finding the right opportunities at the right time. Again, look at the body placement. He's in position. I really am not upset about everything leading up to this catch. But again, because I like the way that he keeps the wide receiver in front of him. I like the back pedal. I like his ability to get hands and turn the hips. Like so far, like I like this. I like what we see from Ambry. And again, we saw a lot of this. But it's this part. All right, find the ball, Ambry. This is the part where he's still, I think, kind of catching up to speed because you can see him whip his head around, but he does not locate the ball. The timing is not great, and it turns into a back shoulder catch. So this is the raw things that we're seeing out of Ambry. Like I said, though, like I like it. Look at the positioning. That's good positioning. This is Cephas. Cephas is a decent wide receiver. So again, these are the things with Ambry Thomas that you just want to see a little bit You got to take that next step. Again, he's showing the ability. Like this right here up until this point, A+, Ambry, fantastic job. Now locate the football. Locate the football. It's a great pass, better catch. But for the most part, he did his job by putting himself in position. Now the next step is to make the play, locate the football, PBUs, INTs, tackles. That's what we want next out of Ambry. But we'll take this step. I think this is a first good step. I'm not going to sit here and look at this rep and say it's a failure. I'm going to look at this rep and say, wow, you did some good and you did some bad. So that's the thing. Ambry's okay, man. Ambry needs time. Ambry needs time, and I'll give it to him. I will give Ambry the time he needs to develop for this team. Dante Johnson versus the Lions, 1 touchdown, 1 PBU, 2 receptions. Yes. Says Jimmy Ward had a good game. You have any plays for him? He had 2 tackles in a row in open field that I really liked. So I'll show that up. And it will also be a good indication too of where we struggled on our defensive line with these 2 plays. And again, puts an emphasis on the Lions, how they dialed it up and how they blocked it. They did a good job, man. We got to give them credit. So let me find those 2 plays. Let's see. So, all right, back to this play, 2045. So what we're going to be looking at right now is let me get it pulled up here. We're going to look at some Jimmy Ward. Let's look at some Jimmy Ward. PBU stands for pass breakup. So anytime a defensive back, linebacker, hell, even D lineman, if you're out in space and you break up a pass, PBU. PBU, not to be confused with PB and J, one of my favorites. All right, let's go. So let's see if everything lines up correctly with my notes. There's Dre. Gonna miss you, Dre. Great play out in space. So I believe it's the next play after this. All right. Yeah, this is it. So again, this is going to be another example of play design and blocking. Beautiful blocking. This is the play that I should have showed earlier, but look at the blocking up front. Again, it's kind of similar to that other play that we watched where you're going to have zone right. See them all take their zone right footwork. But what you have here is these 2 guys essentially become the lead block, right? You see that? So you have 11 going out into space to take the safety and Tart out of the play. You have the tight end essentially going against the grain. Like there's so much going on here. This is what I'm talking about with the Lions offensive scheme. Like they did a good job. Like look at it. It looks like it's a play to the right. So all the D line is crashing that way. But in reality, it's almost like a counter left. And then look at the that they created. Look, this is all Detroit, man. Look at that. Look at that wall of meat. Oh, stop it. And then look at that hole that it created. But why I did, like I said, the whole point is to see Ward. I really like Ward here because Ward knows. He's the last person. Like we saw him miss that tackle, but he also made a bunch of these. Like I'm the last man. I got to make this tackle. And what I really like about Ward on this play is the way he works his hips. The way he keeps everything in front of him. Again, it's like he's like playing basketball a little bit. Just shuffling. And then when it becomes time, he lunges. And so this was a really, really good open field tackled by Jimmy Ward that needs the respect it deserves. This is a hard play. He had that's DeAndre Swift too. Look at DeAndre Swift. Look at the head down. He knew he screwed that up. He knew he had a touchdown. He knew all he had is one guy to beat, and that was a touchdown. But you got to give credit to Jimmy Ward for making that play. Again, this is going to be another really good angle of the play design and the execution by the Lions. We have to give them credit. Watch it again. We'll watch it live or watch it at full speed, and then I'll bring it back. But watch everyone move to the right and everything counter left. Look at the counter left and look at the wall of man meat. But there's Ward. Look at Ward. We see you, dog. We see you, dog. Shout out Jimmy Ward, man. This is not an easy tackle. Look at all that space. Look at where DeAndre Swift has the ability to go. He could go right, cut it back. He's got blockers with Sewell here. He knows he can beat Tart with speed to that way. Like, could have gone a lot of places. That's why this is a really good play by Ward. Really good play by Ward. But again, let's watch the blocking up front. All the offensive line are taking their zone right steps. You got the motion. You have the tight end who essentially turns into a counter lead blocker. You got the counter steps by the running back. Watch him immediately jump cut because he's got to follow the blocking. Running back jump cuts, man meat. Look at the wall of man meat. And look at our defensive linemen trying to flow over the top to the right. Watch them all flow over. Look at Kerr. He's like, oh, I got him. Look at Kerr. Like Kerr, I guarantee you, right here in this moment, Kerr thinks he won. Kerr thinks he's like, tackle. Like, I played this so well. I got you. I beat you to the leverage. Nope, you played right into their leverage because now watch the running back. He goes and Kerr keeps moving. So, again, a lot of people were hating on Kerr a little bit for like getting washed out, but you have to give credit to the Lions' offensive line and play design. They washed his ass out, and it's all based on the play design. It looked like Swift was dead to rights, but no, that is how the play is designed. And Kerr's like, oh, I got this. Nope, wrong. Goodbye. And then there goes Swift. And then, but the emphasis is the Jimmy Ward tackle. Look at the Jimmy Ward tackle, man. Look at Jimmy moving in space. This is so hard. This is so difficult. Look at Jimmy. Look at all the space. And look at the way Jimmy breaks it down. Look at him just waiting. See, this is where you could get in a lot of trouble as a safety if you're too aggressive. If you're too aggressive and you try and shoot and you try and do something crazy, which kind of is what Ward did on the one he got beat. I think he over pursued and it got him in trouble. But here you see him open hips, just waiting. Where is he going? Where's he going? And then shoot. Boom. Great tackle. Amazing tackle by Jimmy Ward. And he does it 2 plays in a row. He does it 2 plays in a row. And again, another reason to look at the line. Now look at the Lions again. Watch the upfront blocking. Watch the upfront blocking. Watch how they execute and watch how they create these lanes. Watch how they execute and watch how they create these lanes. Beautiful, man. It's beautiful. The Lions deserve the credit, man. Lions deserve the credit, but guess who saved us again? 2 plays in a row. 2 plays in a row. The Lions schemed it up beautifully. Both could have been touchdown runs, but saved by Jimmy Ward. Look at Jimmy, man. So inspirational. Again, Jimmy's out here by himself. Look at him break down again. Sorry, DeAndre. But again, watch the blocking. Watch the blocking up front. Look at that. Like, we need to give some credit to this Detroit Lions team. Like, we need to give credit to the offensive front. We need to give credit to the play caller. We need to give credit to this team for executing. Like, watch this play. It is freaking beautiful. Like, if you are a fan of football, like, who cares what the jersey is? Like, throw the jerseys out the window. Look at how beautiful this play is and how they blocked it up. It's freaking fantastic. It's freaking fantastic. I love it. I had a lot of fun watching the Detroit Lions offense. I really did. I think they did a fantastic job. Um, so again, the whole point though is to show Ward. And this is even with our defensive line slanting towards the hole too. Even with our guys slanting that direction. But they really use TJ Hawkinson like we use George Kittle. A lot of similarities. A lot of similarities. Someone asked who's starting for Greenlaw moving forward. That's going to be Aziz Al-Shaair, number 51 right here. So that's just good. That's just good blocking. Good play design. Extremely good play design. Great blocking. Shout out Jimmy Ward for saving the day 2 times in a row. 2 times in a row, Jimmy Ward. We see you. We see you, Jimmy. That is what you wanted. Oh, McDonald's Wi-Fi is back. Word plays back to back saved our skin. A lot of people are going to focus on the one that Jimmy gave up. They're not going to give him credit for the back to back that he saved. Again, shout out Jimmy. Really, really like what Ward was able to do for the most part. Really, I see Cap asked for Lenore highlights. They didn't test Lenore. Lenore really had a really good kind of intro to the NFL. They did not go after him very often. They really didn't. So there really wasn't a ton to take away from Diamador. Jimmy's missed tackle on that big screen. Yeah, so you see the difference. You see the difference of how you should attack an open field tackle. And if I don't have it logged, I don't have the miss logged, but if you go back to the miss, see how this whole time what Ward has done on both plays is keep his hips open to make the tap. On the one that he missed, he didn't square up. He squared up and then he pursued and turned his hips, and that's when DeAndre Swift hit him with the shift. And that's all these offensive players want to do is they want to get your hips twisted so they can get you out of position. These 2 plays are examples of Jimmy keeping his hips in the proper direction, breaking down to embrace for the tackle. But what had happened was on the play that he missed, he didn't do this. So it's really easy to see what happened. You got to break down an open space. Dollar Tree Wi-Fi is back. Shout out. That's probably a good time that I need to get off. Probably they're like, all right, your Wi-Fi is acting up. Time to get off. Yeah, Demo did well. He really didn't get targeted. So it is what it is. I appreciate you all. I'm a big film guy. We actually I don't think we've ever really broken down film together. I don't think we have. So this has been kind of fun. Like I really enjoy it. Maybe I'll do another film session tomorrow. Then I can pull some other plays. But yeah, dude, I love breaking down film. It's my favorite. Let's break down this play. What happened? Let's see what happened. Let's see. Looks like we got almost the same style play. Again, looking like you're running zone right. You have tight end running against the grain. So who disrupted this? Oh, this just looked like a bad play by them. Whoo! Look at Jaquiski, man. Look at Quiski. Look at Kwaski, man. Look at Kwaski right here, number 3. So Jaquiski had a really nice game. Watch him blow this whole thing up. Nope. Not on Kwaski. Really like that by Kwaski. I also like Givens on this play. Watch Givens, number 90. This is Frank Ragnow. He's one of the best centers in the league, and he did a fantastic job against us. But watch Kevin Givens work all the way around to come make this tackle. Really great play by both Tart and Givens. Really make this play right here. So watch, key on both these two guys. Really solid. Boom. Really, really like that because obviously Kevin Givens is working against the grain. You can see center, he's working right. It's actually a little bit easier if the defensive tackle is also working the same direction that I'm working or coming straight up. Yeah, well, Bosa's out. Bosa's kind of out in space. But get as Givens and Kerr right here, both really squeezing it down. But I like Givens here, his ability club swim and then just right on his track, close down on him. Beautiful. Oh, shout out all the fam. It sounds like we like the breakdowns, huh? We like the film breakdowns. It's a lot better with than just me talking all the time, isn't it? A lot better when we can actually watch something. Yeah, dude, I could literally watch every single play with you guys and break down every single one. Here, we got a Bosa. And they left Bosa hanging. I just noticed that. They left Bosa hanging on this play. Pick Bosa up off the ground if he makes the tackle. Give Bosa a helping hand. I mean, this guy is coming off ACL injury, making tackles. Help his ass up off the ground. Come on now. All right. Watch Bosa. You want a Bosa special? Here's a Bosa special. Watch Bosa. Okay? Watch him. But then watch him get left on the ground. Shuck him. Get him. Then he's like, help me up. Wait. Hey. He even hit the back of Zach Kerr like, come on, bro. Help me up. That was kind of funny. Let's watch it again. One more from Bosa. I think we got a Mac in here. I think I got a Mac play. I think we got a Mac play. I'll find it. But this was the thing I was talking about. Look, there goes Bosa. Like, hey, bruh, help me up. And then Zach Kerr's like, nah. And look at Bosa smack the back of Kerr. Watch Bosa smack Kerr. Come on, bro, help me up. Dang, how you gonna leave Bosa on the ground like that? He just made the tackle. You're just gonna leave Bosa hanging like that? Come on, man. Bosa said, come on, bro. Smacked him on the back of the calf. Good stuff. Yeah, this game was intense. Game was definitely intense. I got a Mac play in here. All right, let's end it like this. We'll do one nice offensive line play. and then we'll end it because we've been going for a while. I'm trying to be better about timing, but feel like I'm doing hour and a half to hour 45-minute lives every time. It's wild. We'll get it dialed in here. We'll get it dialed in. Juice had some fantastic blocks. Juice was killing it. Juice had a couple pancakes. Juice was doing great. So we'll let this thing get queued up. Should be the next play, right? Nope, it's not. It's this play. 17:37. All right, let's start here. So in my notes, I have good O-line rep, McGlinchey anchor. All right, let's see what that means. Let's see what that means. Always need to refresh my memory of why I wrote these things. So I said good O-line rep as a whole. Anchor McGlinchey. All right, so this is a pass blocking rep. Let's see why I wrote that. So, I remember why. Okay, we're going to start with McGlinch. So, one of the things that McGlinchey struggled with last year in 2020, one of the things that he struggled with in his pass set was anchoring, which is essentially dropping your hips in your pass set to be able to create the proper leverage to stop bull rushes. Now, one of the things that I noticed from watching this game, number 92, his last name is Strong. He's literally strong. Like he was moving some of these guys. Like you could tell he is just a strong human being by the way he's moving some of these guys. But watch McGlinchey. Again, he's got to stay in front of this guy. Now you can see, so what Strong is setting him up. Strong is trying to set up an inside move, counter outside. So that is what Strong number 92 is doing. He's setting up the inside move. See inside. He's gonna try and like jack him with his left arm and counter back to the outside. He wants to use McGlinchey's momentum against him to get McGlinchey to kind of follow his path and then use it against him. But typically, where Mike McGlinchey would kind of suffer from this because he brings his feet together like in 2020 and things like that. He didn't do that this time. Watch his feet. They stay nice and wide. And so when he tries to jack him, McGlinchey's feet and hips just kind of swing a little bit, but they stay wide and he stays in front of him. And then he gets a little Kittle help. But what I really liked about this is something that would have got Mike a little bit twisted up on last year. And this is, again, because you can see it's his right shoulder, our left. Watch it get jacked up. Watch. See that? See that jack? That's a leverage thing. Typically, when we saw this from Mike last year, that would really throw him off because of his hips, his feet, the wide base. These are the things we not again. These are one of the things that we indicate that we see gains leverage, wide base. Look at that. Look at those hips. That's the leverage. That's the anchoring that we want to see. Last year, Mike was like standing straight up. He was straight up, and those were a big with something that he was going up against in pass blocking. So this is just a move left. Look at skill. Look at Brunskill and Alex Mack. Is they bring theirs together and be able to Alex Mack, see this eyes are on 34. His eyes are on 34. You want this to look like a run. You want it to look at them, and then there goes Alex. Look at Alex. Alex's eyes are on 34 shows the to come, but then for Max work, and look at these pots. Look at the pocket and meat. Let's head up. Uh, uh, all right. Do this daughter. Mine are so you got Lincoln, you got again, you see the leverage a little bit. So my like uncontrollably. Like a little bad. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Am I back yet? Am I back? There's just I want to highlight this one block and then we'll get out of here, but I want to make sure you can actually see really quick. So let me know if I'm back to normal. Back to normal? Okay. Great. Because this one's a fun one. So again, really quickly before we get through the offensive line, again, you see Lakin man on man, you see Trent man on man to the outside, you see number 90 try and get leverage, and look at Trent try and drop those hips, try and kick those feet out. That's a part of it. But now my audio's too low. All right. Well, we'll get this block out the way and then we'll end it because clearly having all kinds of technical issues per usual. That's why we appreciate the sourdough squad. Uh pay up on the layaway Wi-Fi. I know, right? All right. Watch use check. All right. We're gonna end on a use check block. Watch use check number 44. Watch him. Watch use check. Him on Jamie Collins. Boink. Oh, got him. Let's go. We see you, Juice. Look at Juice, man. Look at Juice on number 8. Boom. Donate for better Wi-Fi. The screwed up part is I upgraded my Wi-Fi and it still stinks. Still stinks. Is it at least clear enough for you to see the use check pancake? Do you see it? I see it. It's pretty. And then we got the pass. Great pass. Great timing. All that kind of stuff. Do you see the juice pancake, though? If you do, you're welcome. It's beautiful. Bonk. Oh, yeah. Look at Juice. Juice appreciation. Boink. All good stuff. All good stuff. All right. I think that it's time. It's time. We're an hour 40 in. I did it again. Shocking, right? I wanted to do like an hour long show, but I couldn't do it. Damn it. So we're again super long into it. It is what it is. Wi-Fi sucks. I hope you enjoyed it still. But yeah, that was still fun though. That was still fun. Pulled up the tape, got to see some actual examples, do all that good stuff. And there's football day. Really, really fun. I appreciate that, Otis. I really, really do. So what we're gonna do, VZ, appreciate you. Oh, you guys making me feel so good, even with my dollar store general Wi-Fi. Damn it. Oh man, I appreciate all you guys, the Sourdough Squad, as always. always holding me down. Let's tell him, Jazzy. Let's have a good game Sunday weekend. Uh, let do a full Philly breakdown. Maybe we do that tomorrow. Maybe we do that tomorrow. A nice Saturday show, all that good stuff. Sourdough Squad, baby. Drop your baguettes in the chat. That sounded a little sus, but we'll leave it at that. Appreciate again. I say it all the time. I will continue to say it. Appreciate you guys a lot for what you guys bring to this channel. I can talk all day, but it's really nothing without you guys and all that stuff. The Sourdough Squad always out here balling, always making it a ton of fun. He said sus. Oh, James, we missed you. We missed you, but you made it today. Let's go. Look at the baguettes. Sourdough Squad knows the damn vibes. Bread Gang. Hashtag Bread Gang in the building. Oh, appreciate all you guys. Like I said, maybe we don't know. I don't know about tomorrow, show tomorrow, TBD, but we will maybe potentially look to do a preview of tomorrow's matchup. We really haven't done a deep dive on that yet this week, so maybe we do that tomorrow. Again, thank you guys as always for supporting the show, commenting, giving me all your feedback. Sourdough Squad, as always. We see you, Bread Gang, in the building. Our sandwiches go dumb hard. Let's go. So again, as always, appreciate you all. I don't know. I felt like I was so busy posting. It really wasn't that great for anyone who was watching. Just because, like I said, I was posting so much throughout that I don't know if it was a benefit of anyone to who was watching the watch party. So I might think about doing maybe like a pregame show, halftime show, and then do postgame show. I'm thinking about doing it that way, just because, like I said, I post so much throughout the game that doesn't mean, like, if we're having a watch party and I'm staring at my phone for literally half the time, that just doesn't feel like a big value add to you guys. So I'm thinking about adjusting it a little bit this week because of that. So I'm thinking post game or pregame show, halftime show, and then of course post game show. So that's kind of how I'm thinking about the breakdown. Again, I'm open to your guys' thoughts and opinions on that. But that's kind of how I'm thinking about it as we head into Sunday. So we'll see. The whole goal, though, is to be 2-0 after this week. After having some guys go down to injury, let's get the bounce back going and see what we got. Joshua liked the watch party. I appreciate that, Joshua. We're going to see. We're going to test a couple things, see what we like, see what we don't like. We'll get this figured out eventually. But again, always, you guys are like my betas. We're all testing this out together. You're all alpha males and alpha females. But I'm just kind of testing. I see you guys so I'm hearing we like the watch party. We'll see, man. We'll see. But as always, appreciate you guys. I'm gonna get out of here finally. And we'll continue to do it again. Sourdough Squad, always tough. Appreciate you guys.